I think that black women just seriously need to, a lot of them, they need to give up on dating black men, trying to hit on black men, trying to be with black men, because there was, and I get hit on them. I mean, they hit on me on a regular basis, primarily on Facebook. There was a black woman recently in my area. She told me that she has seen me in the area, and she's always liked me. I did not remember her, but I said, okay, um, this is always for experimental purposes because I know this is always going to go nowhere. And she was telling me she was single for quite a bit, and she's looking for a serious relationship and yada yada yada. And and she was telling me she knows of me. She's seen the like she knows me. I didn't know her from a can of paint. So I was like, okay, whatever. So we started briefly talking, and she's asking me questions, and she says, "What are you looking for in a relationship?" I said, "Well, you said you're looking for something serious." She goes, "Yes, I'm looking for marriage and all this other stuff." And she's like, "I think you're the guy." You know what I'm saying? She's like, "You're a hard-working guy. You're a nice guy. Whatever." She says, "What are you looking for?" I said, "Well, let me just tell you this." I said, "You've got a lot of men on your Facebook, right?" And she goes, "Uh huh." And I said, "These are men of all races. What is that all about?" "Well, I don't see that as a problem." I said, "Well, if you were to get with me, um, I would not allow that, right? Because you are supposed to be concentrating on me." She goes, "Well, you're not my man yet, and that sounds kind of controlling." And I said, "You are right. I am not your man yet." I said, "But if you were to be seriously talking to me, then you would have to get rid of all those guys on your social media." And she goes, "I don't like controlling men." And I said, "Goodbye." Right? So they want what they want, but they want to have zero accountability. They don't want a man to be able to say he doesn't like this, but they can turn around and say, "Well, I don't like you riding motorcycles." Well, I'm never going to give up riding motorcycles. I don't give a shit who says what. If you don't like it, you can leave, right? I get to tell you what I don't like. You don't get to tell me what you don't like. I mean, you can tell me within reason, but I'm not changing myself for a woman. No, you spend too much time at the gym. That's not going to change. I spend an hour at the gym, you know? So this is the nonsense. I think black women just need to give up on trying to date us and all this nonsense because they don't want to change. They want to be able to do whatever the hell they want to do while being in a relationship. Like they're just looking for a fucking sucker, pretty much. And that ain't me over here.